every so often in production, one in every 30 or 50 times, we would just have chats that would randomly stop. For the most part, model intelligence isn't the bottleneck, and you have the situation where there's this capability overhang, right? Where the models are smart enough to do what you want them to do, but usually constrained by just the actual tools or context that they have access to. Before, if you wanted to just classify the sentiment of a piece of user feedback, or you wanted to put something inside a structured taxonomy, you would have to train a specific model, and then you'd have a pretty efficient but single-use tool. And now you can replicate the same effect just with the right context engineering prompting and correct eval set to kind of hill climb on how you set up the prompts and tools for these foundation models. A big theme, both in research and applied organizations, is the concept of recursive self-improvement, right? How do you set up these automatic loops that you can kind of hill climb to get better and better? One really valuable asset we have at OpenAI is that as we approach 1 billion users, we constantly get a huge stream of feedback from so many different sources. And it's more than anyone can manually read through, understand, prioritize, and take action on all at once. And so we built a system to process all those millions of data points per day, build this shared understanding around it through some taxonomies that we classify the feedback into, and also some on-the-fly clusters that we create. You definitely need some, heavy-duty, like traditional software engineering here, just to handle all of that volume. With agent runs getting a lot longer, you want to pay more attention to not just the final output, but what's happening in the process of that rollout. So you want to understand what tool calls are being made, how many, is there any sort of error rate and latency associated with that, and does the amount of thinking effort the model uses, does that also affect your final output? An AI engineer is someone who builds AI products or systems using the new set of primitives now available to us on top of these foundation or large language models. So I believe that a strong foundational engineering skill set is still required. You still really want to understand the existing systems you're building on top of. But in addition to that, an AI engineer should be able to understand how to squeeze out the most performance from Gen AI and use it in a principled and predictable way. So making use of context engineering, harness engineering, setting up the right tools, skills, MCP connectors for your agents, being able to observe them to deliver that production level performance.